welcome to the Now Society program, and many thanks for tuning in on Truth TV. Well, for this program, we bring you a special session carried out by Kenya Film Classification Board in partnership with Netflix and Google. Well, mainly what we're discussing about is on the various tools online to help you as a parent to become knowledgeable on how exactly you can protect your child against explicit content. Well, here is how it went.
So my name is Lilian Karaoke, and I'm the founder and executive director for Total Watch Network, and we've been running awareness programs for the last 10 years on child online safety. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Brian King. I am from Total News International. I am a child rights advocate as well as a trained journalist.
Good afternoon everyone. My name is Rose Mwangi. I am an assistant director. I work at the Directorate of Children's Services. My work is to make sure that your children are protected both online and offline from any predator who wants to violate their rights, including yourselves as parents. Thank you.
My name is Majla Nkerema. I'm the founder and director of End Cyberbullying Association. Our objective is to raise awareness on cyberbullying and provide information, including compassionate services.
And the question is, parents, we have to ask ourselves, because we could be asking for all these experts to come here and even some abroad, including Google and others, to take care of our children. If we don't leave our children in the thick of the Aberdare forest and let them wander there, if we don't leave them in the city center and then we just go and collect them in the evening, why do we leave them in the concrete jungle of the internet, in the jungle of internet alone, and expect they will take care of themselves? So we cannot say we will leave them on the internet alone, but we will not leave them in the forest alone, because it's also a jungle. So this is the question. So the people are here to try and help us learn how to navigate those terrains. And so I want to go, again, start with Lilian. Tell us about Watoto Watch. What have you been doing? What is the legal background and what you are doing? How is it? And whose responsibility legally is it to look after children? You know, is the government, should we tell government to look after our children? You know, who is supposed to look at that? What laws help or guide and protect children in their diversity? And you could also tell us in the number of years some of the contributions you have done in that regard. Please.
Thank you so much. So I've mentioned that we've been in this space for the last 10 years. So we are an NGO, and what we do is we run awareness programs in schools. So tunaenda kwa mashule kila siku. We talk to children, we talk to the teachers, we talk to the parents. And today I will address this conversation as a parent. I'm also a parent. I have a 2-year-old son. And the same issues you're going through, as much as I am experienced, I also have to now put them in place in my own home. So when it comes to interacting with parents, that is something that we've done for a very long time. And the tricky thing about raising children in this era is because you have to look at it from two ways. In terms of safety online and safety offline, okay? And when it comes to safety online, you know, with offline, you're able to tell your child, do not go there. If you play that way, you will fall. But when it comes to online, who are we leaving that to? Because also the online platform is a playground. It's a digital playground. They are doing the same things. They are playing online games, true? Yes? They're interacting, they're meeting friends online. Okay? Is it their responsibility to know what to do? You're very keen on telling them, usiruke pale. You will hurt yourself. But online, who is telling them what to do and what not to do? Are you saying anything as parents? Mnasema? Yeah? I will say this. I will mention 2 things that we always hear from parents as to why they are not engaging their children when it comes to online safety matters. And for our work, it's not just even in Nairobi. Tumefanya kazi Lamu, tumefanya kazi Mombasa, Kisumu. Our work is across the country. And this is something that we hear from a lot of parents. One is the fact that the technology is moving too fast. So leo anasikia mtoto anaongea juu ya Instagram. This time, the popular app is TikTok. how will they keep up when it comes to even keeping them safe on these particular platforms? They feel like it's rushed, inasonga haraka sana, okay? And secondly, parents feel like kwa hii area ya technology, watoto wanajua mengi kuwashinda. Ukweli? Parents feel like mtoto anajua hata nikitaka nisaidie kufanya kitu kwa simu, setting something on my phone, I give my son or I give my daughter. Si ndio? So mmewapatia hiyo jukumu, you feel like they know better. Lakini inachukua jukumu yako kama mzazi kuhakikisha wako salama online. Does it take away the responsibility? Does it? It is still your responsibility. And the law clearly outlines that. Tuko na constitution na tuko na the Children's Act. Kwanza sasa tuko na mpya. Okay? We have the Children's Act. Sheria ya watoto mpya ilisainiwa last year 2022, the Children's Act 2022. And it clearly stipulates the responsibility of a parent towards protecting a child from any form of abuse is mandatory. Sawa sawa. So even if you do not take responsibility, serikali itafanya nini? Itahakikisha umechukua hiyo responsibility and you take care of your children even online. Do not forget that or do not ignore that. But besides all these things, there is support. Sawa sawa. We are here not only to talk about, the law. We are here to encourage you. Because even from a parent's point of view, if you are to know how to protect your child, there's nothing stopping you from using that tool. Sindio? If you knew, you could do it. Sawa sawa. And that's why we are here, to encourage you. Okay? And I'll mention 4 things. The reason why we are here is through this program. Si mnasema watoto wanasonga sana na technology. Because the level that we've seen across the country on digital literacy ya wazazi ni kutumia tu simu. Sasa hiyo watoto wameambiwa wafanye coding. Unapata grade 4 anafanya coding. Alafu, it discourages you and we understand. But we are here to also support you. Through this program, which is very important to bring you to good, higher digital literacy levels, that is 1. 2, you can always take initiative and learn. There is Google, there is information out there. We have a website. Okay? Watoto Watch has a website that has free resources. Enda hapo usome kama mzazi. So it is www.watotowatchnetwork.org. Just 2 more things, okay? Another thing is, we have a national children's helpline. Sitaki mkwame tukitoka hapa. We have a national children's helpline that is run by the children's department. And I know Rose will talk more about it. Yeah? Ukiwa mzazi, it is a free line. Call 116. Msikwame. If it is an online issue you want to report, reach out. The 116 number, that's where counselors sit and they are ready and they are trained counselors to handle matters za watoto. So when it comes to any case ya abuse, online, offline, yoyote, piga tu simu. It is free to call. 116. Sawa sawa. Na ya mwisho, I want to talk about, nimeongea about sheria, but pia tuko na sheria ya mambo ya mtandao. Okay? We have a law called the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act. Nyinyi wote hapa kama mnatumia mtandao, you need to look for that act and law. Itaongea mambo ya cyberbullying, inaongea mambo ya child pornography. You need to understand also those penalties because watoto wenu, they are not above the law. Okay? Pia wanaweza ingia kwa hiyo shida. Sawa sawa. I want to highlight 1 more unit that we work with. We work very closely with the DCI Child Protection Unit. Niko hapa kuambia tuko na unit, a specific unit that handles children matters za online. Mali unaweza report. And it is the DCI Child Protection Unit.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for those interventions. So she's talking about parental responsibility. As a parent, what is your responsibility? And how the law, ama vile sheria, inakubidi, inakufanya uchunge mtoto wako, na usipomchunga we mwenyewe utajikuta taabuni. So that's what she's actually explaining. And there are a lot of articles that do that in the Constitution. For example, Article 53, if you want to write them down, on children, there is Article 29, freedom and security of the person. You'll find the law she has said, the Children's Act 2022, Section 11 and Section 31. And then she has also given us quite a number of tips of how to do this parenting. But there is also something as a parent I can share with you. You see, if you don't buy this phone to your child, they will not be very happy. Because then all the other children have, isn't it? Now, if you buy the phone, it might be the one spoiling them. So as a parent, you are in a catch-22. To buy or not to buy, what should you do? Now, some parents have done this because, again, we are here to share solutions. They have had a conference with their children at home, and they have said, my son, my daughter, my child, I know you really need this phone, and I really feel I should buy you, but I have a problem. If I buy you, then it makes you lose your life. Then I'm also your parent. Not only will I be in trouble from the law, but I'll also be a failure of a parent. What do we do about this problem? How do we solve it? And then you start coming up with solutions. It is participatory, the way Katiba inasema, in consultation with the family. Alafu mnakaa na sheria, mnapangana huko, mnasema, okay, tukinunua, like the way some people are saying it should be in a common area, like don't put passwords, you know when it's time to meet family members, you do it, you agree on those rules, and if as a parent, because you are the one who bought, you want to see it anytime, they tell you, before you even buy it, to show I'm using it well, I allow you to be using it. That's also a very good way of engaging with this.
We are talking about the availability of smartphones, the availability of data. These days, all our children need just 10 bob. Wanunue data, waingie social media, they watch the videos, they create content themselves. As my earlier speakers have said, the internet is not bad at all. Actually, we are in the technological age. This when tumekaa hapa, as parents, we are being referred to as digital immigrants. Meaning, sisi tumeanza kutumia maneno ya mtandao as grown-ups, isn't it? But wale watoto ambao tunalea, they are the digital citizens. Hawa watoto tunawalea wakiwa mtandaoni. For them, they don't know anything different. And so we were curious. What do you do when you go online? Ukiwa kwa mtandao, huwa unafanya shughuli zipi? It's a long study. I will not speak about everything because of the time, but I want to pick on what touches on us as parents, because we also interviewed you as parents. It was a household survey that covered the whole country. So when we asked our children why they go to the internet, wengine walituambia they go there for studies, they are doing a lot of research, they are creating content, they are following celebrities and public figures to see what they are doing. So you can imagine if you are a celebrity or if you are a public figure, na ile mambo watoto wanakwenda ukifanya kwa mtandao, and you're supposed to be the role model. What are they going to learn from us? We tell these children, before you post anything kwa mtandao, think twice. Would your parents want you to post what you want to post? The internet never forgets. There is what we call digital footprints. Hata saa hii kwa Facebook account yako, ukiweka picha na udelete, hiyo picha bado iko kwa system. Do we know that? Yes, that ya kwamba kwa account itaonyeshana nimetoa. But we can go back to that system na tutoe picha zozote ambazo ulizoweka. So they use the internet also to create friends. Some children, they have families when you wanaishi abroad. The families, the fathers, the mothers, maybe watoto wako Nakuru, and the parents are working in Mombasa. And therefore they use the video calls WhatsApp to speak and to touch base with your parents. So it's not a bad thing. But again, we ask them, then what else do you do? Why do you share your naked photos kwa mtandao? And whenever we have interactions with children, we ask them, unaweza toka hapa kwa nyumba yenu utembe naked? As in, see, they are sharing nude photos. Mtoto wako akitoka kwa nyumba, anaweza toka akiwa uchi. Why then do they want to post their photos ambazo wako nude? And they told us very interesting things. They told us, and the CEO KFCB aligusia ya kwamba our children are in relationships. And let us agree with the fact that as teenagers, all of us were teenagers. And part of our developmental stages is wanting to have those relationships, healthy relationships. But mtandao sasa imewaonyesha, when your boyfriend wants your photo or your image, anakuitisha zile za uchi. When I was growing up, us we had to get a photo, a cameraman. Anakuja na hiyo kamera na kupiga picha, it takes a week, itokee, ndio uweze kuituma mahali. But now, the digital citizens, what are they doing? Hiyo picha ni live, one by one. Si mara moja inaenda. So they send those photos to people, to their boyfriends, the ones they're in a relationship with. Okay? Number 2, they told us sometimes they are under pressure. Remember, when they're on the internet, they don't even know who they are talking to. When someone is behind that screen, they will pose as a 16-year-old because they have seen this child is 14-year-old. So they pose as 16-year-old. Anajifanya kuwa wewe ni mtoto. So anauliza mtoto mwenzake amtumie picha. Whereas, that is a grown-up, a 40-year-old man, a 50-year-old man, ndio anaitisha huyo mtoto hizo picha. Some say they send their nude photos as a result of peer pressure. Their fellow children, their peers, wanatuma picha zao kwa mtandao, left, right, and center. And that age of a child, they are not conscious of what they are doing. They don't even know that it is wrong. And when we have sessions with children, we tell them, these days, an employer ataenda kukuuliza, share with us your social media accounts. They want to see what have you been posting on the social media account. And on that basis, you can even lose a job or even get a job based on what you've been posting even as a child. One thing that they told us that stuck to my mind and that gave me the passion to drive this program forward, walisema they need assistance from you as their parents to help them navigate the internet. Tuko pamoja hapo? Yes, because they said that parents, sisi kazi zetu ni kutuma message, kupiga simu na M-Pesa. They want guidance from you. They want you to tell them that when you go to this site, this is a bad site, you should not access. And they actually, vile walijibu, we want the government to train our parents. And I am glad that KFCB has already taken that initiative of starting to sensitize the parents. We must fulfill the wishes of the children. Ya kwamba at home, our parents are not tech savvy. They cannot supervise us. They cannot protect us. And yet, one of the worries of the parents was, how can I protect my child from accessing pornographic sites or images kwa mtandao? Because the minute you get home, and you'll agree with me, all parents here, the minute you get home, ukiweka simu yako hapo chini, what inaendanga wapi? The children take, isn't it? Sometimes unasikianga simu yako ikilia huko, hata ujui uko wapi, but umesikia. Ama mtoto tu anakukujia, mom, dad, simu yako unapigiwa. So let us be the first port of call to ensure that we are protecting our children. That was their number one desire, for their parents to be given the knowledge and skills they need for you to protect our little ones. And remember, most of the abuse is happening at home. Most of the children we interviewed, 99% walisema they access the internet through the phones. Where are the phones? Hello, where are the phones? Ziko kwa nyumba. And these days, the perpetrator, the abuser, is abusing our children inside the house. A child doesn't have to go out there. And these days, when they realize that that child has siblings, they are asking them to sexually abuse the siblings as they record on WhatsApp, on whatever, because our phones have cameras. These days, your child doesn't have to be out there to be abused. The abuse is taking place in our homes. So if as parents then, we don't have the skills to protect our little ones, who will protect them? A child in Kenya is any person who has not attained the age of 18 years old. It doesn't matter whether you have a son who is so tall and he's 15, he's a child na sheria imemlinda. So as parents, let's be very conscious. What are we having on our phones? The smart TVs we have at home. What are our children accessing when we are at work? And especially during the holidays, you need to know about parental controls of the devices that we have. So at the back of your mind, remember that your child needs you to supervise them. The way you protect them from any other harm is the same way you need to protect them in the digital space. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You can see the passion. Please clap for Rose. She has, amenikumbusha kitu moja kilifanyika miaka kadhaa imepita wakati nilikuwa mwenyekiti wa chama cha walimu na wazazi wa shule fulani. And mtoto mmoja alikuwa kila siku kuna distribution ya hizo video kwa shule. Walimu wakaanza kuchunguza, mbona huyu ana supply hizo pornography discs kwa shule all the time. What is the issue? It turned out that actual problem was actually the parents. You know, there was a time stima ilikuwa inapotea. So it was there on the machine, stima zinapotea usiku. Then nani wa kwanza kutoka shule, stima zimerudi, ni nani? Ni mtoto. Mtoto anafanya nini? Anachukua, anapeleka wapi? Shule. Sasa walimu wanauliza, we see even these parents have a problem. We don't know how to start because we thought the child was a problem, but you have seen the problem is bigger. So some of the things you are saying as government, I think I know they are real. I have seen them, and this was several years ago. So I think we are also here to face realities and also to make sure, like she also said, the internet never forgets. You may delete it in your phone, but if it's out there, it has gone. Help your children and tell them to use the following tests before they post anything online. If what they are writing online, they cannot repeat in front of the grandmother, then don't post it online. It's a fairly good test. Kama ni picture, if you cannot post that picture in front of your grandmother, don't post it. Kama ni message, don't. Ask yourself, can you post this in front of? And it can help. Adeline, let's come back to you. What are some of the common dangers facing children online, and what are some of the approaches that parents can take to try and address some of those issues? What are some of the signs, red flags, and anything else you could tell us as parents? Tukue tunachunga tukiona zinaenda mrama hivi, tunajua we need to raise our antennas and guard our children more, because if the things are happening right inside our own homes, it's like our homes have been invaded and we are just there. What do we do?
My name is Marjoline Kirema, and I'm the director and founder End Cyberbullying Association. Let me talk to the parents as a parent, as much as I'm running an organization. I'm sure right now there's a parent thinking how they are going home, and the first thing will be, leta hiyo simu, weka hapa, na nisione mtu hapa karibu. But truth of the matter is, we have had, we hear of road accidents every day, but we are still driving. And the way to solve the issues on the internet will not be to take away the internet from the children. One of the things that's a challenge for us as parents at this stage, these parents are the parents who do not grow up with the internet. I would almost say it was shoved on us. We were just playing and being normal people, going to school, and then they said there was social media. They introduced us to an entirely new thing that we did not know what to do with. But this generation was born in it, the generation we are calling Z. These ones were born with it. They might have information, but they do not know what to do with it. And all is not lost. And I want to say that sometimes you can leave such a meeting and wonder as a parent, where do I start? What do I do? And that is what I want to address for us parents in a few points in the interest of time. The first thing I would advise every parent, when you get home today, if you have not done that already, set healthy tech boundaries as early as possible. Don't be the parent whose child does not eat, give them the phone. Kula, mpatie simu ndio akule. Siendi shule, chukua simu ndio uende shule. The child wants to do something, you give them your phone. Have tech boundaries. Boundaries include where the gadgets that are being used are used, in what room. Let it be in a public place. Let your children set boundaries. What are people doing online? and also let them say what exactly they are doing. Another point is provide an open channel of communication for your child. What we are doing right now is having a conversation. Conversations change lives. Sit down with your children over and over and try to engage them. What do they know? What is it that they do not know that you could teach them? The information you gather here today is not something to scare you and tell them that that space is dangerous. I know growing up, our parents used to tell us certain things and not explain. I have said it. Our parents, most times their instructions were low. But this generation does not take instructions like that. They want an explanation. So why will I not be online? Why can I not do this? As a parent, you need to get involved. Sit down, continually have conversations, open the lines of communication for your child, encourage them to talk about themselves, about what they are doing online, about things they have seen online. That will improve and help them as a parent. Look for teachable moments. I personally know that as I was growing up, the more I grew, the more my parents, I think even us, I've seen a TikTok video where parents say that the washing machine I got a few years ago, then they show us the washing machine is their child like cleaning clothes. I mean that the child is able now to help them out with house chores. As a parent, as your kids grow, you feel they need to help. They owe you not, you feel like they should do something for you and it's not something you need to learn how to do. That is why most parents here, if your phone is not opening, Brian, come here, take the phone. You don't find out what had happened, what was happening, what is it something in future if it happens to your phone will do. Your kids can do it for you. But take it as a learning moment. Find out if your kids are online, do they play games? What games do they play? You don't have to learn how to play the entire game, but introduce yourself to the games they are playing. Learn what is it they are doing on social media. Don't just say TikTok is demonic. There are so many other things that children. Don't forget that we also know of people who have become famous from these very social media places, and they are like role models to our children. Our children want to become those people. So you have to be you are the adult and you are the parent and you have a responsibility. Look for this moment. Teach your children. While at it, accept to be taught what you do not know this far. And let me just cultivate an environment of awareness. When you go home and you've heard of issues of cyberbullying, of any other issues that are trending online, please engage your children on the same. Depending on the level which they are at, bring them to the awareness of what is going on, whether it's nationally, it's in the level, whichever level. We heard of the children who are getting tattoos. As a parent today, you need to engage your children. What are their thoughts? Has such stuff happened in their school? Has it been introduced to them? What are the things that are happening that you can engage? Create an environment of awareness. Bring them to you so that you can have those conversations. And I think this will be my last point. Monitor for behavior change. And this is where we were saying as a parent, someone would be thinking, if my child is involved in all these things you're talking about as dangers of online, which could be cyberbullying, inappropriate content, what as a parent could you be looking at? You monitor. Monitor how the behavior of your child. I know as parents, we are very good at that. Your child can just come home and you ask them, what's wrong with you? And you say, I'm fine. But you will insist, actually, I can tell something is not right. Monitor and see. For cyberbullying and for all online issues, you can look at the interest of the child. Suddenly, they do not want to use the computer. And that's why we are saying, put the computer in a public place. They do not want to use the computer. They are withdrawn. There is anger when they are done using the computer. Find out what is happening. Involve them, engage again, monitor their behavior changes, and be aware of how much time the child is online. Monitor all these things. Engage them one-on-one. And for parents, it's not all doom and gloom for the internet. The internet has done great and good things for us. It's we say the world has become a global village. That's the truth. But as a parent, get involved, help your child out, do your best at the level where you are. You might not know everything, but that's the reason such conversations exist, so that you pick that information today. Don't just go sit with it and say, I'll learn. Conversations keep changing. The conversation you had with your 3-year-old is not the conversation you will have with them when they're 6 years. That conversation will keep changing as they get older, so keep engaging your children. Thank you.
I've also learned from her, we have learned that we must learn to be our children's best friend, so that when they have a problem online, they can come to us. But if you're not your child's best friend, he or her has to go to other friends, and you don't know where they will lead them, and you'd rather it was you. We look out for behavioral changes. We shall struggle to do that. And of course, we are here as parents, because as we navigate this jungle, we are navigating with them. We want to understand it. And this applies not just to online, it also applies to broadcasts. It applies to videos like Netflix. There are tools available. And I'll be calling Google after the next speaker, because there are also YouTube and other online videos. I want now to ask Brian, because we have been talking about these young people, and Brian told us he's just reached 18 and he has been working on these issues for the last 4 years. So we cannot be talking about the youth and we are not having their voices, and especially from a point of view of wanting to, or working from the point of view of protecting their fellow youth. So Brian, if I could, you have your microphone, if I could ask you, give us some of the, who is Brian King? We want to first of all start from that. Who are you? And then, as Brian King, what does Mtoto News, because you work for Mtoto News, you said you are a journalist. Yeah, what does Mtoto News do, and how does it add voice to this discourse or this problem? Mtoto News uchangilia, kwa sababu unaongea Mtoto News, uchangilia aje kulinda watoto kwa hizi digitali, teknolojia online na kwingineko. I hope you can understand Kiswahili.
Yeah. So, Brian King is a journalist at Mtoto News International, though I like to describe myself as a child rights advocate. Mona, as inapenda kupigania rights za watoto. Rights kwa Kiswahili. Haki za watoto, yes. Haki za watoto, yes. Mtoto News is an organization that trains children on digital literacy, media, and child rights advocacy in itself, right? So as you guys are all here being trained, Mtoto News now trains your children. And you know, this is actually the reason I agreed to be part of this panel. I realized we have a ton of children who are empowered enough, but their parents, 10, you know? As in, we teach children how to use their voice, you know, to just gain their voice through media, using YouTube, using TikTok, using national mainstreaming media to express themselves, to show their parents that we also want to be listened to, and we can be listened to, and we can actually contribute meaningfully, right? Yes, so that is Brian King, and that is Mtoto News. The topic of conversation here today. You know, Mr. Alex started by saying that you guys are not taught how to be parents. Niko sure niliona book fulani inasema how to be a parent. But for children, it's different. We are not taught how to be children, you know. We come into this world and everything is new. And like you guys have been here for 18 past years, 40 years, we just came in, you know. So we are allowed to make some mistakes, and it is up to you guys to guide us. Now, here are some tips. Talking about, like, if you look at that banner there's the GE, PG, 16, 18, all those ratings. Me, when I was growing up, we were watching soaps, and ilikuwa inakuja PG, this program is rated PG, parental guidance is advised. Kuna kitu kama inakwanga hapo, si ndio? Tuko tunangoja tuition the movie ends. No one really cared. you know. But you actually should care as a parent, you know. It's actually there because you had the MD of KFCB, you had the experts here. The people actually go to work to make those ratings, meaning they're important. As in ni muhimu sana, ziko na haja. Rules are only as important as you enforce them. Mwana, saizi tukisema ati we are all not going to like tuanza kupanda huku turuke. Like you're not supposed to jump and then we start jumping. We are all going to fall, making the rule totally like it's useless. Rules are only as important as you enforce them. Ukiona kitu imeandikwa PG, my friend, stay with your child ama change the programs because we have so many available children content that you can change. Ukiona 18, it means unless you're 18 years or over, the content there is inappropriate for you. Inappropriate na mancha nini si yako. You'll see, oh, and I think we failed to address something here. Why is it important to actually prevent these children from accessing this content? You know? Kwa nini mtoto asione since the 18 plus? I think it's very important. These things are not for these children. You know, children express themselves as they learn. Nimewambia, we are not given guide. We're not taught how to children. We simply learn how to children by childrening. Like that. What we see, we do. So if I see this, you know, child see, child do. That's how it works. And that's what we're going to be doing. Number 2, yes, children are very tech savvy. I myself consider myself, you know, quite tech savvy. I know how to code through Python, Java, and HTML. Mamangu atajuzo nini, by the way. Like for real. But you know, you have to differentiate. You know, you guys understand the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Children might have knowledge, but they lack wisdom. It is up to you guys to impart the wisdom, right? It is up to you guys to guide the wisdom into those children and gain the knowledge while you're in it, my friend. Learn how to use the remote. And then access to a gadget. I was told that time yenyu, mamako ange decide you're not going to access a phone until you're in Form 4. That's not happening anymore. You know, like you can't say that for your child. You can try, but I can assure you it's almost impossible. You cannot say you're not going to give access to a device to your child. Atapata, kama si yako ya uncle, ya auntie, ya neighbor, ya brother yake, ya rafiki yake. As in, there's always access to a device. So what do you do as a parent? You become digital literate. Unalearn na huyo mtoto. You find ways of, you know, accessing, of like giving him access, but in a safe way. Si bike inaweza, mtoto anaweza panda bike avuke kwa barabara abondwe. It's true, right? But that doesn't mean we don't buy them bikes. What it means is we buy them bikes, we teach them how to ride, and we teach them how to ride them safely and in safe places. It's the same with the online world. Man, they just take your time. Calm down, take your time, chukua simu yako, browse. The problem, Mr. Alex, is that they don't know how to use the internet themselves. So it becomes very hard for you to try and teach them. You cannot start teaching people about road safety now. You can shagari. It's true. You have to first of all learn. So take your time. And then here's something about online safety. I want to teach even the experts in the room. How many of you know what an email is? Just raise your hand. Kama unajua email ni nini? Yes, just raise your hand. Okay. Email ni ile barua pepe basi. You see, if you have your child's email password, if your child is able to access like internet, it means they have an email. If you have your child's email password, you can access everything on their device. Everything. So learn those passwords. Your email. Ukijua password ya email ya mtoto wako, you can be able to even install like parental controls remotely. Bila kushika simu yake, by the way. All you need is the password. Learn your child's email password. Ishike vizuri hapa hivi na umwambie niko nayo. So that like just randomly you can just be opening their emails, checking through, seeing who has been trying to bully my child, who my child has been bullying. And then secondly, you know, we talk of abusers, but what you guys don't realize is that you are the abusers. Let me, you guys know what Nyumba Kumi is, right? Nyumba Kumi was a system where you check up on your neighbor to make sure they're doing the right thing. Let's form that here in the online world. And let me tell you something, those people who pretend they're not on social media are usually the abusers. Because they don't want to give you the handles because they know what they do. Random checks. Normalize random checking your children's phones, manzi. Amekaa tu hivi ametoka shule amechoka. Sema later, bring your phone. The first time anaweza kuwa na like a lot of stuff she doesn't want to show you. Mwambie it's okay, this is the first time, clear out anything that is not supposed to be there, because I'll be doing this on a random occasion. And and then reward good behavior, manze. Like, reward good behavior. Mtoka akiwa mzuri, reward, buy chocolate. And then drug abuse is something we don't acknowledge when it comes to the online world. How many of you own like those delivery apps? We have Jumia, we have Kilimall, we have a lot of apps. I can order alcohol right from here, and I promise you someone will bring it in and will give it to me. I won't care about ID. You have all those delivery apps. Your children can order alcohol. It shows you just how dangerous the online world is. But you know what? The cure here is not to tell us to live. It's to learn how to use it, how to guide us through it. Hii dunia yetu unaweza uliwa na skari, maziwa, mtu anaweza kushoot, unaweza bono na gari, unaweza slide ukufe, but we don't live this world. What do we learn? We learn how to live in it safely. That's what I urge you parents to do. And I'm sorry I'm taking up too much time, but that's the truth. Learn how to do this. And if you need support, KFCB is here to support. Mtoto News is here to support. Visit these NGOs. Watoto Watch Network is here to support. And cyberbullying. Even DCS. And DCS, my friend, congratulations. You guys are doing great these days. As in, all these NGOs, all these CBOs, all these people are here to support you. Che unafaa kufanya ni uulize. Call 116. Leo before utoke hapa, piga 116. They're friendly people there. Just talk to them. Hata sema sasa, unaitwa nani? Just that. So yes, again, my name is Brian King. I am a child journalist from Mtoto News International. And I guess that was my take. I'm open to questions if Mr. Alex allows.
Thank you. Let's clap for him. As you can see, journalists, when they get the microphone, they know how to deal with issues. Do you understand what is Python? Do you understand Java? HTML, parents? Did you understand? Those are programming languages. And thank you so much for that, about knowledge and wisdom. There is also something he has spoken about, asking parents that we note. We first of all have good conversations, like I said at the beginning, with our children, so that we have a deal. Hii phone nilinunua. Kwa hivyo kama nilinunua, lazima sio ya kukuham, na tena sitaki ukose, juu tena utapata kwa marafiki zengine. So, password. So, there is a way, there is a tool I know, and I want Michael Murungi of Google to come here, if he's still with us, to come and tell us about that particular tool. Michael Murungi?
Thank you very much, Alex. I will say, just to save time, that I stand on previous protocol, and I think I will only be 5 to 6 minutes. Again, Alex has advised me to not overload you. So first, I want to say that there's no substitute for forging a powerful connection with your child. I think everything we might say today here might not, even if you were to implement all the passwords and all the tools that we'll share, if you do not have a powerful connection with your child, I think it is all in vain, because that is the foundation that establishes the possibility of these tools of technology to work well in the house. Because children, like everyone else, is looking for meaning and connection. And I always ask myself, the test is, can my children drop their phone when I walk into the house for them to be with me? Try that. It can be a good thing. As opposed to where they see you and they go into the corner and they wish they had a gadget they can have, because what they see you as is maybe a controller, as a commander, as somebody who's not fun to be with. So ask yourself, can my children actually stop being online so they can be with me? And what do you need to do to be in that space with them? So number 2 is to set ground rules for the use of technology at home. The tools I'm about to share, like I said, only work if you co-create with your child how technology is going to be used in the home environment. The tools of control and snooping and sneaking behind the child, we don't encourage that. From our experience, they backfire. Because what happens is that it erodes the relationship of trust. And if something happens and the child strays into dangerous content, they will not come to you, because they know that they have done something that you do not condone, and you will not listen to them because you are a spy who is spying on them. Or if they accidentally find out that you have been spying on them, that completely erodes the the trust that is very necessary for a good and healthy relationship. And you want your children to come to you as a first person if they encounter any problem. So the first tool that I would like you to note is content, is Be Internet Awesome. Be Internet Awesome is curriculum that we have designed as Google that can be used in your schools. You can share this with your headmaster or principal in your child's school that they can use to teach in your school on how to be online safe. So we've been working with the Scouts Association to bring this content to the schools. So Be Internet Awesome is a website on its own. It has downloadable content that can be used to train online safety. The second tool is Safe Search, because I know a lot of you use Google Search. And like many of us have said here, sometimes when you get home, your child asks for your device, you give them, and then they want to go on Google Search. In order for you to be assured that your child is not getting exposed to inappropriate content while they're using your device to search on Google Search, you need Safe Search enabled on Google Search. And actually, if you go on Google and search for how do I enable Safe Search, or just search for Safe Search, the first result we'll see will be a guide on how to activate Safe Search on your phone. But again, I have to say that it is not 100, just like many tools, it's not 100% safe. It may occasionally not necessarily block all forms of content, but it is better than leaving it open. The other tool I would like to share is restricted mode on YouTube. If your child, because we have YouTube Kids, which is an app designed specifically for kids, and it's a YouTube, for them to experience YouTube. If you have teenagers who prefer to not use YouTube Kids because they consider the content is too childlike, you can actually activate restricted mode on YouTube so that content which is not appropriate for young people, any young person using your device will not use that. So, and then of course we have YouTube Kids. The next slide. YouTube Kids, this is where actually I would ask you as a parent, in order for you to not worry about how is my child accessing YouTube, what are they exploring, download YouTube Kids on your phone as an app. It is curated specifically for children, for them to experience content that is only child-friendly. And you don't have to worry that they might stray upon inappropriate content. And in the next slide, finally, this is now Family Link. Family Link is an app that you download on your phone, on your device. It works best if it's an Android device. In the previous tools I've been sharing, those are tools where you are actually giving your child your own phone, which we don't encourage. Because again, it is possible the child might stray, or being smarter than you, as we've heard, they might easily bypass some of the controls. But with Family Link, once you download Family Link on your device, you can then acquire a device for your child. That device will be paired with your device through Family Link. I have that for my children. And what it means is that my children will not be able to use their device without me seeing what is going on. And what we did was not command and control. We sat down and said, you understand the internet? There are some places that are not safe to go. And as your parent, you understand that I need to exercise some forms of control on what areas you can access and when you can use it. So with Family Link, I can set screen time limits remotely. I can set device bedtime. I can set app time limits. Anytime the child is downloading an app, I know which app that is, and I can tell Family Link, do not permit any apps that are not of this age, because all apps are age-rated. I can grant bonus screen time for good behavior, and I can lock the child's device remotely. So all of this is about me setting it up when the child's control rules when I get the device. Everything else they need to do is just come and ask me to unlock their device, and I decide what time, how much time they need to have. I don't have to worry about them bypassing. It is inbuilt into the application and into the device that you will give them once you install that. So it's very important, but please remember, the first rule, cultivate this healthy environment, psychologically safe environment for you and your child, so that your child feels they can come to you and trust you to make the right choices for them, and that once you direct them properly on the proper use of technology, they can follow that.
Thank you so much for sticking with us till the end. And just in case you're a parent, I hope this session has been of benefit to you. So just make sure that you implement some of the guidelines that they've given during the panel discussion. Till next time, this has been the Now Society program. See you soon.